I don't remember setting the alarm. That's the first thing that bothered me. I always keep my phone on silent at night. No alarms, no notifications, nothing that could wake me up. I hate being disturbed while I sleep. But that night, something was different. At exactly 3 a.m., my phone went off. Not just a quiet vibration, a loud, sharp alarm sound, the kind that instantly wakes you up. I sat up in bed, confused and half asleep. My room was completely dark. The only light came from my phone screen on the nightstand. It was glowing, bright, too bright. The alarm kept ringing. I reached over and grabbed my phone, expecting to just turn it off and go back to sleep. But when I looked at the screen, I froze, because this wasn't a normal alarm. There was no time displayed, no snooze button, no label like wake up or anything like that. Just a black screen and white text in the middle. Check the door. I stared at it for a few seconds, trying to process what I was seeing. My brain was still waking up, trying to make sense of it. Maybe it was a notification? Maybe some kind of bug? But it didn't look like any notification I had ever seen before. It looked intentional. The alarm sound suddenly stopped. Silence. I was wide awake now. I looked at the time, 3:01 a.m. Everything seemed normal again. Just my phone, just my room, just silence. I let out a small breath and shook my head. Okay, that was weird, I muttered. Probably just a glitch. That's what I told myself. A glitch, nothing more. I placed the phone back on the nightstand and lay down again. Tried to close my eyes, tried to go back to sleep. But then I remembered the message. Check the door. I opened my eyes again, stared at the ceiling. My heart started beating a little faster. Why that message? Out of everything, why that? I turned my head slowly toward my bedroom door. It was closed, just like always. Nothing unusual. For a moment, I considered ignoring it, just going back to sleep, pretending it didn't happen. But something felt off. I don't know how to explain it, but it felt like I should check. I sighed, annoyed at myself. This is stupid, I whispered. But I still got out of bed. The floor was cold under my feet as I walked slowly toward the door. Each step felt heavier than the last. The silence in my room felt different now. Thicker, like it was pressing against me. I reached the door, stood there for a second, then slowly grabbed the handle. I opened it. Nothing. The hallway was empty, dark, completely normal. I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. See? Nothing, I said quietly. I almost laughed at myself. I stepped out into the hallway, looked around. Everything was exactly as it should be. Then I noticed something. The front door. It was slightly open. I froze. We always lock the front door at night. Always. My parents are strict about that. There's no way it would just be open. I stared at it for a few seconds, trying to convince myself it wasn't a big deal. Maybe someone forgot. Maybe I forgot. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. I slowly walked toward it. Each step felt louder than it should. The floor creaked slightly under my weight. The sound echoed through the house. The door moved slightly, just a little, like something had pushed it, or like air was coming from outside. My heart was pounding now. "Hello?" I called out quietly. No answer. I reached the door, pushed it open a bit more, looked outside. Nothing. The street was empty. No cars. I rushed back to my room and grabbed my phone. The screen was on again. Same black background, same white text. Too late. My chest tightened. "What?" I whispered. The message disappeared. The phone returned to normal. 3:07 a.m. I stared at it, trying to understand. Too late for what? Then I heard something else, a sound, inside the house, from the kitchen. Step, step, step. Slow, heavy. Someone was walking inside my house. I slowly turned my head toward the hallway. The light in the kitchen was off. Everything was dark, but I could still hear it. Step, step, step. Getting closer. My heart was racing so fast I could barely breathe. I backed away from the door. My hands were shaking. There was no one else supposed to be here. No one. Then the footsteps stopped. Silence. For a moment, I thought it was over. Then my phone buzzed again. I looked down slowly. New message. Don't move. I froze completely. Every muscle in my body locked. The air felt heavy. Then I saw something. A shadow. In the hallway. It moved. Slowly. Like someone was standing just out of sight. Watching. My breathing became shallow. I didn't dare move. Didn't dare make a sound. Another message appeared. It sees you. I felt something cold run down my spine, because at that exact moment, the shadow moved closer, and I realized something. It wasn't just a shadow. It was a person, standing in the dark, looking directly at me. And then, my phone lit up one last time. Run! I didn't think. I just ran. The second I saw that last message, run, my body moved on its own. I turned and sprinted toward the door, my heart pounding so hard it felt like it was going to explode. Behind me, I heard movement, fast, louder than before. Step, step, step. It wasn't slow anymore. It was chasing me. I threw my door open and ran into the hallway. I didn't look back. I didn't want to see it. I reached the stairs and almost slipped, grabbing the railing to keep myself from falling. Every sound felt amplified. My breathing, my footsteps, the thing behind me. I got downstairs and ran straight to the front door. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely unlock it. Click. I pulled it open and rushed outside. Cold air hit my face instantly. I didn't stop running. I ran down the street, barefoot, still in my sleep clothes, not caring who saw me. Only when I was halfway down the block did I stop. I turned around. My house looked normal, dark, quiet. Nothing at the windows, nothing at the door. It felt wrong, like nothing had happened. I stood there for a few seconds, trying to catch my breath, my mind racing. What was that? Was someone inside? Did I just imagine everything? Then my phone buzzed again. I looked down slowly. New message. Why did you leave? My chest tightened. I typed back without thinking. Who are you? For a moment, nothing happened. Then, you already know. My fingers felt cold. No, I whispered. I don't. Another message appeared. Check the house. I looked back at my house again. Every instinct told me not to go back, to just leave, to call someone, anyone. But something pulled me, that same feeling from before, like I had to know. So I walked back, slowly, carefully. The front door was still open, exactly how I left it. I stepped inside. Silence. No footsteps. No movement. Nothing. Hello? I called out. My voice echoed slightly. No response. I closed the door behind me, locked it again. Everything looked normal. Too normal. I walked into the kitchen. Nothing. Living room. Nothing. Then I noticed something. The hallway light upstairs was on. I froze. I was sure it was off when I left. Slowly, I started walking toward the stairs again. Each step felt heavier than the last. My phone was still in my hand. I kept checking it, waiting for another message. Nothing. I reached the top of the stairs. The hallway was lit, but empty. My door was open. I don't remember leaving it open. I stood there for a second, then slowly walked toward it. Inside, everything looked the same. My bed, my desk, my chair. But something felt off. I stepped inside, and that's when I saw it. My phone on the desk. I froze. I looked down at my hand. I was holding my phone. Then I looked back at the desk. Another phone. Same model, same case, same everything. My stomach dropped. No. I walked closer, slowly. The screen of the phone on the desk lit up. Black background, white text. You came back. I stepped back instantly. My phone buzzed in my hand at the same time. I looked down. Same message. You came back. My breathing became shallow. What is this? I whispered. The phone on the desk buzzed again. New message. Now stay. At that exact moment, my bedroom door slammed shut behind me. Bang! I jumped and spun around. The door was closed. I ran to it and tried the handle. Locked. No! I shouted. My heart was racing uncontrollably. I turned back toward the room, and that's when I saw it. Someone was sitting on my bed.
I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. The figure was sitting there, perfectly still, facing away from me. It looked like me. Same clothes, same hair, same body. Slowly, it turned its head, and I saw its face. My face, but the eyes, they were wrong, completely empty. You weren't supposed to run, it said. My voice, exactly my voice. What are you? I whispered. It smiled. You, it said. I shook my head. No, that's not possible. It stood up slowly. You left, it continued. Someone had to stay. My mind was breaking, trying to understand. What do you mean? I asked. It took a step toward me. You got the warning, it said, at 3 a.m. My heart skipped. The alarm wasn't random, it continued. It was a choice. I felt cold. A choice? I repeated. It nodded. You were supposed to stay in your room. My stomach dropped. Check the door, it said. You weren't supposed to open it. Everything clicked. If you stayed, it continued slowly, you would have been safe. My hands started shaking again. And now? I asked. It smiled wider. Now you switched places. Silence. I couldn't speak. You left the house, it said, so I came in. I backed up slowly. No. It stepped closer. You don't belong here anymore. My phone buzzed one last time. I looked down. Final message. Too late to fix it. I looked back up, but it was already right in front of me. Too close. You'll understand soon, it whispered. And then everything went black.